See, see,
What was one of the highlights of the show that
see, us, H, E, see, us, H, E, see, us, H, E, see, us, H, E, see, see.
Hey, hey, hey. Oh, we live. Okay. Welcome to the ShePub Network, where we talk books, authors, and publishers. I am Shanitha Finesse, CEO and founder of She Publishing LLC. And I'm gonna tell you, it has been a week, but this week is actually, wait a minute, it's been a week. It's just what? Is it Tuesday? It's just started, y'all. So been a week, but this is our fifth and final series of the women empowerment that was curated by Lashonder Demery, who is the author of Tears of a Lost Soul. And again, episode 5, we are talking about relationships, purpose, and the push or pull. So without further ado, I'm gonna get this party started, and I'm gonna go ahead and introduce my co-host from the most, who does an amazing job every time we hop on here, Lashonder Demery.
Hello. I love you. Thank you for that bright introduction. I'm gonna call it bright tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna call it bright
Exactly.
tonight. So I'm excited about week 5. I am Lashonder Demery, the author of Tears of a Lost Soul. I am so excited about tonight. I'm more excited than when we first got started, y'all. So tonight we have a very special night. We're talking about relationships, purpose, and the push and the pull. Our theme for tonight is how relationships have shaped your purpose and pushed you forward or held you back. So this will be a very meaningful night. I'm excited to introduce. We have a lot of amazing women here tonight, and I'm more excited than ever to hear them introduce themselves. Shanitha?
Yeah, so I do want to say, you guys, we do have some people here. I want y'all to write your name, put where you're from, and I want you to join this conversation with us as well. I will say, when we talk about relationships, this is not just a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife relationship. This is family. This is mother, daughter, father, son. This is all relationships that we're
Connections.
talking about tonight. Exactly. Connections. I mean, relationships with friends. So yeah, so I'm gonna dive right in, and we are going to begin to introduce some of these beautiful women on the She roster. And we will begin with, everybody been asking for her back, okay? And it is Natasha, because they want to hear them gems, y'all. So let's get Natasha on here. Natasha, how you doing?
Hey everybody. Hey y'all. How you doing? How you doing? I'm here.
Man, and so what's the name of your book that is coming to fruition?
Yes. I will be bringing to you guys the beginning of the Candyland series. The first book in the Candyland series is titled Sex, Love, and Sacrifice. And it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. So y'all get ready to get them pre-orders in, because I am starting a list.
Man, sounds hot. All right, we're gonna move on now. The next person we will be introducing is Omia Tylette. And you are on mute, baby cakes.
She already practicing.
Right. It wouldn't be right if I wasn't on mute. Like every time I'm on mute. Hey, y'all. Hey, I'm author Omia Tylet, author of Dr. Peabody and the creator of Girl Get Up All in One Journal. I'm excited to be back again. So much has happened over these last few weeks with me. So I really need the empowerment from you ladies. I'm just excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and I
Thank
will
you.
tell you,
Thank you.
we do have some people who have ordered your journal just recently, and we had ran out of stock, and we have that stock in. So whomever on here or in the audience who've ordered that journal, we definitely have it in. Okay, we have it in. It's gonna be
Come on,
shipping.
God. Come on, God.
Y'all know how we do with the packaging, so you're gonna have a good time. Okay. Now let's go ahead and introduce Glow Rose.
Mhm.
Good evening,
Glow.
everyone. Yes, I am author Glow Rose, author of Good Night My Blessing and other journals and children's stories for emotional health and wellness. Thank you for having me back. I'm excited to talk to you all. I will admit, if I may, Omia and Miss Lashandra, I ordered both your books. So I am one of those who is like, yay for the inventory. Yay.
Oh, you're such a
Thank
sweet
you.
soul. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hey, absolutely. I'm going to start reading, Miss Lashandra, I'm going to start reading yours, and I'm waiting for the journal, so it's okay.
Great.
Please,
Thank
that's
you.
talk about support. Come on now.
That's
All right,
it.
next let's introduce the CEO of Inspire Publishing, Aloja Hadley.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Okay.
I'm Aloja Hatley, the CEO of Inspired Publishing. I am your historian and your autism advocate.
Oh, no, that's right. Okay. Yeah, look, we have a lot of amazing women, y'all. Okay, let's next we have Pamela James Coleman.
Here.
You caught me off guard, even though it says be ready. Hello, lovely ladies.
Hello.
Wow. I don't know which book I've done a lot. My
Mhm.
biggest thing right now is men's mental health. I got a YouTube podcast with our men's mental health through the eyes of a Black man, along with the book that the men have told their stories through on mental health through the eyes of a Black man.
Wow. Awesome.
Thank you for joining us. And then just to introduce next is our two-time best-selling author on the She Publishing LLC platform. We have for you, ladies and gentlemen, Bertina Power.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, ladies. Good evening, audience. I am so excited to finally make it to this Women's Empowerment Month event. I am the author of The Power of You and How No One Is You, and That's Your Power.
Mm.
Just let it sink in. I just tell
They
people,
do.
Let this
once I
sink
say the title,
in.
They clock that or something.
for a moment, that's it, period. I don't have to say anything else. Just let it sink in, because once you understand that no one is you, so whatever you think makes you different, what the gifts that you have been given, and the reason is because no one is you, and that's your power.
Your power.
Come on now.
Love that. Love that.
So now we do have a special guest, you guys. Someone who is definitely okay. Wait 1 second. Okay, let me see something. Let's introduce the CEO of Allure Publishing, Dr. Calinthia Miller.
Hi, guys. I'm sorry I had to move around here. I am Dr. Calinthia Miller. I am the CEO of Allure Publishing. It is great to be with you ladies tonight.
All right. Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So
I might still have to pop off. I'm doing,
okay.
on call stuff.
Hey, I get it. Okay. And so I'd like for Glow to introduce our special guest, one who is new to this platform, who is in the process of writing her own story.
So I would like to introduce my sister, not only in life, but also by blood. This is my twin, my amazing support system, a transformative relationship, Jordan.
Hey.
Hi, thank you all so much for allowing me to be a part of this this podcast and about relationships and purpose, especially since I have my twin up here. So we can definitely dive into that family relationship you were mentioning earlier, Shanitha. So I'm happy to be a part of the podcast. Thank you.
Yeah. And now I believe we may have someone else coming in. Let's see if we can get her through. Lashonda Johnson. Oh no, we can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we have our 10 people. So take it away, Lashonda.
All right, ladies. My prayer for everybody tonight is that you all feel safe here. We do want everybody to share their hearts tonight. We just want to bounce from one to another, you know, flow fluidly. Just let it flow. Take your head off, take your shoes off, and get really comfortable. Tonight we will be inspiring as many women as possible, and we know some men always stop by. We want to inspire them too. But we really want to think about, just like Shanitha said, it's not about like a boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband relationship only, but we're looking at relationships, period, tonight, those connections. And we know that relationships either fuel us, fuel, it's either fuel or friction, fuel or friction. So, it either pushes us to our purpose or pushes us away from our purpose. And as I speak tonight, we are thinking about things that either gave us energy or drained us as well. And draining us don't have to be a bad thing. Sometimes we are learning through the process, right? So we want to be as vulnerable as we can be in this space tonight. And then we want to go ahead and get started. So relationships, we can start with relationships before we go into purpose. So let's just hop on in there, y'all, and let's just talk about some relationships that have either did one or two things: fueled us or gave us friction.
I'll start for you.
I was about to say I left myself on mute.
I'll kick this one off. I've said this in previous segments, and it took me the last 12 months to realize that I need to make a shift in my ships, because we're not just talking about one type of relationship. I put all the ships in the same category. And in the last 12 months, I didn't set a New Year's resolution. I set a goal for myself, and it was a non-negotiable. All ships in my life have to have reciprocity, because all the ships that I had prior to now, they were pulling me in a direction that I didn't want to go, pulling me down. Not one relationship in my life had any substance to it. So all ships in my life has to have some sort of reciprocity, or they got to ship out of my life.
Okay.
I am just now a person that's understanding the value of reciprocity in a relationship. I was married for close to 9 years, and that relationship didn't fuel or aid me. I spent a lot of time in that relationship giving and giving, and while I took also from that relationship, a lot more was taken from me. So as Natasha said, I've worked on a realignment similar to her, where the relationships that I have going forward have to be based and built on reciprocity, not only the relationship with others, but also relationship with myself. If I'm willing to give other people things and time and caring, why am I not willing to give that to myself? So along with that reciprocity for others, I got to give that to myself as well.
So Jordache is speaking exactly one of my spaces, which is the power of self-care. I wrote the book. It's one of the chapters in my book. It is my survival. I am here today because of taking a moment or listening for when my therapist said to me, put your air mask on first before you try to help somebody else. And you hear it all the time, but in my moment, in my storm, I was in the eye of my storm at the time, and to hear that message at that point, was well, the skies just cleared and everything made sense, because I can't, if I'm not taking care of myself, how in the world am I supposed to take care of these others? You know, those others I refer to were my children. And I too then decided that the relationship with their father I could no longer be in, because it was going to really be the cause of the end of my life. It was just not, it did serve no purpose. So assessing things, we assess things all the time. You know, is this job for me? You know, is this outfit for me? Or whatever the case may be. And relationships need to be assessed the same. They could have been good at one point, but now they bad. And so we got to let it go.
On that note, there are 3 ladies on here in 3 different occasions that I had hit a wall where I actually wanted to just stop. And that's my She Publishing, Bertina, and Dr. Miller. They all had something different to say, but it fit the situation, and that's why I'm still here. So I'm giving flowers while you guys are here to get them, because there were times where I just wanted to just quit. This was not for me. This is not a path I wanted to take. And one of the 3 of them at whatever given time was there when I was hitting that wall going, so why do you want to do that? Or, you know, and I had to find the power in me, because I was getting that lesson that this is what I needed to do. So these 3 lovely ladies are the ones that kept me going in that aspect of a relationship.
Wow. You know, Pam, I remember, I think when I first met you, there was a death. You were going through a death in the family. And I believe there was something happening when you and Calinthia first met. And it's just like, we just kind of grow to be connected to each other in different ways. And so, you know, I do love that. I do also want to share, for me, the question was, how have your relationships shaped your purpose, pushed you forward, or held you back? And so in the new book that I'm writing now, From Projects to Publisher, the second part, to build your own table, I start with talking about a situation, and I think I may have shared it with some of you already, in how the biggest event, 5-year anniversary gala, how that was such an amazing event, but then when the lights turned out and everybody left, I didn't feel like the greatest mom or the greatest publisher or the greatest supporter to my own family. You know, while everybody else was probably, you know, having a good time, this and that, there was some balls that I had dropped in the midst of that. You know what I'm saying? Certain books that I wanted on the dress that didn't make it to the dress. You know, it was a lot of different things going on that I just was not proud of. But did that halt me? No, it pushed me forward to begin to write that book and to say, hey, this is a new start. That reciprocity is about to be for the family who's going to gain this legacy that I'm actually in, this empire that I'm trying to build. So it didn't like deter me. It's like it's a lesson learned. And so it was a push or a pull forward, however you want to say that, you know.
And I'll go next. I guess for me, just the level of understanding for myself, being able to get out my own way. Sometimes we have to say that to ourselves on many occasions, trying to do everything with little or no fuel to push us forward. But as Pam says, you know, you have people that are in your life for a reason and for a season. And I can say for the last 40 plus years, my ride or die, Aloja Hatley, has been there for me. We grew up on the west side of Chicago, and I'm telling you, we have grown. It's times where we don't even speak to each other for months at a time, but I can always go to her and share things with her that I can't even share with my own sister. So again, sometimes we just have to really navigate the waters of understanding where our season is and who needs to be a part of that season. I always say, I equate this to a train. You know how a train goes in, comes into the station. Either you're gonna get off or you're gonna keep driving or keep riding. And sometimes we have to let those people go and let them be on that platform by themselves, because sometimes we have to make those lanes for ourselves and be okay with leaving them on that platform. And so I think just being, as I've gotten older, I realized that some things I can't change, and some things I'm not willing to change, and some things I'm not willing to give up, and some things I am willing to give up. So I think as you get older, you understand the dynamics of what relationships should be. Either they're going to pour into you or they're going to take away from you. So I'm at that point in my life that them double nickels is coming around the corner, and I realize that I don't have a whole lot of time left, and I'm going to enjoy this bus until the wheels fall off.
That's what we say all the time, ain't it?
Yes, ma'am.
I would
This
say,
is really, go ahead.
while this may be from a different perspective, while I have great support of my sister and my mother, I had people professionally who did not see any value in me, who did not think I could rise to whatever level, to any level at all, especially not the level that they thought I should be on. And so I did it out of spite. I'm not gonna lie, it was a push out of spite, because I wanted to say, no, you don't get to define me, and you don't get to say what I'm going to be in your life, in your professional relationships, in your professional atmosphere. I'm going to prove you wrong. So while that's probably not the most positive push, I will say that is a push I've experienced.
I gotta agree with you on that. I'm sorry. Glow. I agree with you on that. I had a child at 17. Excuse me, my voice going out. I had a child at 17 years old. And yes, I was still in high school, and I was told that I would never ever be anything because of it. I was told that, I'm going to be just another statistic that's dependent on the system. And I too said the same thing. I'm going to show you. And the day of graduation, I was able to walk my daughter across the stage with me. Going forward, though, throughout my life, people always said what I wouldn't be. I think it was more of hurt hearing that in these relationships. And then just like, I can't believe you said that to me. Now I'm going to prove you wrong. And so fast forward, telling me, a cousin said to me, I didn't know she knew how to write. I'm like, oh, well, this says something different. So understanding that how people define you, it doesn't mean anything. But definitely relationships can either push you or hurt you.
Yeah.
So,
So I think.
Bertina, oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, like just recently I've had to, first of all, you have to take accountability. What part you playing in allowing toxic people to chew up your soul. And you know that they doing it. You know they doing it. And this could be a family member. It could be somebody at work. Like literally, Shanita and Colinthia, Dr. Miller, no, I just literally had to make that decision with a family member that I truly love. I watched her grow up, but I was okay. I had to draw the line. I had to like, okay, that's it. That's it. That's enough. And why? I guess I'm gonna have to ask my therapist this. Why? Maybe you guys can help me. Why is it when it's somebody that you love, like a family member? I'm not talking about like a boyfriend or a husband, like that cousin that was your best cousin. You know what I mean? Why do you continue to allow them to keep opening the door for them? You know good and well there's something wrong with them. I just at 55 I'm still trying to figure that part out. Maybe because you love them,
and I think
love is blind.
I think it's because that's the expectation thing we talked about last time. For me, I said I expect family to be family. I expect family to support, and it just slapped me in the face when I see that it don't. You just expect it, and so it hurts when you put expectations on it. But like you said, don't
we
sit
think
and allow them.
We think family should love us we are. We think families should be supportive. We think families should, understand whatever you're going through. But let's be clear, those are individuals. Yes, they may have same blood and relatives and connected to you, but they are individuals. And once you realize you have to see everybody you encounter as an individual and make decisions about how you're going to engage with them because they have showed you whose they are and how they're going to deal with you.
Over and over again.
So it's a decision. One of the things I wrote in my book, The Power of You, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it when I put it up, but I'd say there's 5 deterrents to your success in whatever it is, whether it be a relationship, on the job, just with yourself, whatever it is. And I have the countdown going, 5 being society at large, right? Believing all the things that they want to say. And so then it deters you, because if you don't fit into that box, then you're going to stop moving forward. 4 is your friends. Hello. From day one, it don't matter. The day ones could have been, the snake in the grass that grew all that time, and from 55 years later. 3 is your family. And I say those being the family that don't live in your house, like cousins and big mamas and whomever, aunts and uncles. And then 2, the deterrent to your success is probably the family under the roof with you. And you may even be laying your head. Okay? And the number 1 deterrent to your success.
I gotta buy your book. I'm buying you. You is the number 1 deterrent to your success. Clear on that, because as you with the CEO said, is that when you continue to water that grass, so as long as I keep opening the door, you're gonna keep coming in. Now, whose decision is it to finally put the double bolts on the door? It's you.
It's accountability right there.
And you said I'm sorry to say, you said it best, just real quick, when you said, what part do you play in it? And that's what I wanted to bring back to that conversation. You keep opening the doors, so that's your part that you playing in it.
The door's closed. It's closed now.
You open it back up.
Absolutely not.
One thing real quick, the accountability, that struck something in me, because I realized that, just like you said, I had to stop blaming everybody else, because it was me that kept pouring into cups. I watched with my own eyes you bite a hole in a styrofoam cup, a plastic cup, a glass, a mason jar, a clay pot. I watched you bite a hole in it, and I'm still pouring into it. So for me, the reason I can say this and feel strongly about reciprocity in all my ships, because I said that I allowed that behavior. I allowed people to come in and treat me how they did. I allowed that. So now that I'm not allowing it, it's about me. Yeah. This is personal. My walk, my journey to heal is personal. So every ship going forward, if it don't align up with where I'm going, what you said, that train, baby, honey, that train is going, honey. It ain't stopping, because I have to.
In your case, sister, it's gonna stay in the dock, right? Since you ships, right? Staying
at the dock. Stay on that platform.
I got to go out.
Platform. Yes, I had to get real about me. I had to get selfish about me, so that now my ships are lining up, and those that are not, they're not.
Self-care is not selfish. Let's be clear on that. Self-care is not selfish.
And I think the one thing that trips up a lot of women, especially a lot of Black women, is that, as Bettina said, it's part of it's societal, and you match the societal aspect with the family. We're told that family is it. This is who you're with, and you have to love them or hate them regardless of what they do. But there's something that sort of stuck with me from my mother, who said simply, don't go to jail. If you go to jail, or if you do something wrong, I'm going to turn you in. Now, I'm going to put money on your books, but you're going to be held accountable for your actions, and I'm going to love you from the distance. And it's sort of that, I understand who you are, but I didn't raise you this way. and I want you to be better, but you have to hold on to what you did and take responsibility for that. So we go on taking responsibility for our family, but as we get older, we start realizing that our family isn't really who we are. We are a part of it, but they're not who we are. And for our self-care, we might have to let it go. My family did the hardest thing they had to do, and for a time they let me go, and it was heartbreaking, and I let them go as well. But we came back together and realized that that time where I had to be let go was for the benefit of all. Did my mother cry every day talking to her sisters? Absolutely. Did I cry every day talking to my sister? I did. But then we came together and realized that that time apart was healing and helpful for us, and got me to the point where we talk every day almost now. But it's that purpose that gets us to where we need to go, even in the hardest of times, I think.
That's what you call accountability right there, y'all. If y'all listening to this, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, you got to take ownership of what you've contributed, you know what I'm saying, to yourself or to others. So I appreciate that.
And that's in all relationships, Shanita, and your spaces, right? So I heard you say your family. We know that as we continue to grow and as entrepreneurs, in essence, you all are falling in my serial space. I'm a serial entrepreneur. But you know that in doing these things, you're going to sacrifice something. You're just going to sacrifice something. You're going to go through pain. Things are going to they are not going to line up at the days and the times on your plan, but that's because we all know he has a different plan for you. And so therefore you cannot continue to fight. I mean, you want to give up. Let's be clear. We all want to give up sometimes in that, but it is once you just lay down, take a moment, and just like GPS says, rerouting, you just go back around another way and you'll get where you're going, but you might have had to go and pull off on that rest stop, or dock the ship, or wait for the train, or whatever it is that we're doing, sometimes to manage that. And it's okay, ladies and gentlemen on call. It's okay.
All right, we rolling tonight. We are rolling, ladies. I do have one comment to make on relationships as it regards, like family, any type of connections that we have. I think at the end of the day, the connection is not us and we're not the connection. Our family is not us. Someone else said that, and we're not them. So when we begin to come into our individuality and find out who we are, things do begin to change and things do shift. I do want to make a comment on Elosia. She said something about the cousin. It's not necessarily about the cousin. It's about us, right? And how do we find boundaries? How do we have to learn how to put boundaries in place. I had to learn how to put boundaries in place for my children, even though I abandoned them. I left them. They went, a family adopted them, and a lot of things happened with that. But when I came to my senses, and began to research who I was and found out who I was, I had to learn my place. So I think that's what we struggle at, not knowing our place. Just like with Natasha, she learned her place and now she has boundaries, and she, it has to work both ways with her. But at the end of the day, everything that we go through, whether it drains us, whether it nurtures us, whether it feeds us, or whether it takes from us, it still helps shapes our journey. So I think this is an amazing session tonight. I want us to kind of go ahead and move into some specific things that drained us, some things that we feel that took the life out of us, or drained us, or hurt us, or nearly destroyed us, that we believe gave us life at the end of it when we made it. We look back and say, I made it. I made it. I made it. And I learned. What does that look like for you, ladies?
I would say almost mirroring or piggybacking on what we just left would be learning how to realize that someone so close to you, that you realize that pattern where they kept using you over and over again, but because they were family, close family that you were always hoping that they would change. And when they pushed you against the wall during COVID and you needed help, and everything that you gave to them growing up never came back. The hardest thing to do was to walk away from that and to completely cut ties. That individual is truly missed, but I can't keep letting that cycle continue. It's been 5 years, no contact whatsoever. And I keep looking back, that contact, that behavior, that action started when I was in high school. So to just cut it off, when Dr. Miller was talking about double nickels, let's talk about 60 in a couple months. I'll be sporting 60. So I know, right? So to have gone through that since middle school and finally 5 years ago say, I can't do it anymore. You're taking everything I have out of me. I couldn't function with my own kids. I couldn't do books. I couldn't focus because I didn't know what else was coming next. So with that removed, I now am able, even though I'm overwhelmed with everything I'm doing, it's not overwhelmed with what's going to happen next, or is a phone going to ring and say, hey, I need this, or can you get me that, or, so it's just complete cut off. But I'm better.
That's good. That's good. That's real good. I hear you saying I'm overwhelmed with something good today instead of being overwhelmed with something bad. That was hot, sister. I like that. Who else want to hop in here? Let's roll, y'all.
That's true.
I can say, because I'm gonna have to hop off because my calling me for the job. But I think for me, when my father passed away, I think the relationship that I had with my mom really took a toll. And I had to realize that even though that's my mom, some of the things that she said really echoed in my heart. And I had to learn how to put up boundaries for my own mom in order to keep my own self sane. I think as Pam and Aloja mentioned, the people that are close to you are probably the ones that can hurt you the most. But the level of devastation that I felt with the issue with my mom, and here I will say, we're better now because I've learned how to put up boundaries. I didn't know what boundaries were until I turned 40 with my mom. And in her mindset, she still thought of me as her baby, but I was a grown woman with my own children, raising my own boys. And she had to realize that through taking care of her and my father, it was a toll on me. I moved my whole family to be closer to my mom, just to be able to support her and my dad. And I would do it again if I had to. If I can get my dad back, I would do it again. But I had to set boundaries for myself because I was losing my mind because of some of the things that she was hurt. She was hurt trying to figure out she's losing a man that she had been with for half of her life. And she couldn't do anything to help him. And I think I was the closest thing in that window of time for her. And I realized, I love you and I want to preserve the relationship that we have, this little bit of relationship. I want to hold on to it. So I'm going to set the boundaries right now today because we might say some things that we can never take back. So setting boundaries for me, for my mom, and we have the most amazing relationship now because she doesn't see me as her middle child, her baby. She sees me as a grown woman raising her grandsons and her great granddaughter. So I think setting the boundaries for me and understanding that some things have to be set aside, and then you have to go back with a clear mind, a clear mindset to navigate those waters when you get to them. So that is my piece. And I'm going to say good night, ladies. I got to go.
Good night.
Calling me. All right, guys, take care.
We love you.
Okay. So,
My pleasure.
yeah. Somebody get ready to say, because I wanted to, like, in that comment, one of the chapters in my book, started with a story as it relates to my dad in my most trying times and the words he chose to say. And that was the power of forgiveness. Ladies, you have to forgive yourself, forgive them. And when that forgiveness is happening, it's really about an understanding, I think. So when my dad say that, something to me about having a child, I had to then at some point realize, well, you've never physically had a child or carried them for 9 months or anything like that. And you grew up in the South and a different time. And all of those things made him up. And so where he is speaking from, all these friends, families, mothers, and cousins and relationships, everybody else, you have to understand, where are they coming from? Because that experience, those expectations, those life journeys are what has led them to that point. And then you are a different being that has been provided things differently and grown up at a different time. And so then you have a different way of seeing and engaging and managing things. And they seem to collide at some point. Like I tell this story about how I'm the ugly duckling, which was really a swan, grown to, that was a part of the duck family. I say to myself, I sometimes I say that, or I say I was an eagle born to a duck family, like, because I seem like the complete, like just something so different than what everybody else in the family is like. And then they, unconsciously, see, this is the other part I wanted to say when somebody said something. I don't think most, not all, but most aren't doing it with a really deceptive mindset or way of doing it. It's just only what they know. And that once I realized and decided to let that go, then I'm asking people to take me for who I am. You've got the power to be you, and it is no one is you, and that's your power. Then I have to say these individuals are who they are. And then I will gauge, just like Dr. Miller was saying, I'm going to gauge at some point how much time I'm going to give you, what powers I'm going to let go of in your presence, or keep them all to myself and just manage. Maybe I don't have to cut you off, but maybe I don't talk to you every day, right? Or whatever the case may be. So maybe at this point, when we are making these assessments, remember that these individuals went through something different, come from a different time, or engaged. I always tell people, even my twins on here, I can see y'all ain't the same. And twins is twins, but they are different because they have their own experiences, their own makeup, and they should be allowed to be who they are, because no one is you, and that's your power.
Bertina, so you hit on something when you said some people just don't really know better. Some people, that may be just them, while you thinking, oh, they're intentionally trying to do this or intentionally trying to hurt me. No, some people just don't got no god dang common sense. They just don't.
They don't know.
They don't know. So stop putting all that pressure on yourself, thinking maybe it got something to do with you, but it just got something to do with maybe they just ignorant. I'm just saying, like, I'm ignorant in some things. I don't even know how to say the word ignorant, but but it's just like, that pressure on you.
It is fact. It's facts, right? I tell people all the time, I'm one of those people you can't see on the screen, but when I walk in, my presence, I suspect I've heard many a times, can make people shrink without doing. I haven't said anything. I'm not coming for you, but you just gonna shrink. But that ain't got nothing to do with me, boo. It has nothing to do with me. That's you and your personal issues. And once everybody listening to the sound of my voice can help yourself understand that, you will get rid of some of your problems you continue to have. You will continue to have them because you give over the power to these people. Take back your power. That's the next book. Take back your power. I don't know.
When you walk into a room, sister, I migrate to you. Soon, the first time I met you, I was like, "Oh man, I got to go over there. I didn't go this way." I was like, "Oh, I have to find out more about this one. I want my power. I had to go on over."
Yes, that's why I'm like, I'm about to order this book right now.
Right now.
Some of that power. Give me some of that power, baby.
It will not let you down.
It's on my nightstand.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
It's over here on my nightstand.
It's over here.
It's
on
on
your
the next screen.
It's on the nightstand. You talking about you pulled it up earlier? I looked at it like, yeah, it's right there. Yes.
Yes. Get it and then bring it to the next She event and I'll autograph it for you.
But I will say, so one of the things, as much as we like to focus on the outer relationships, sometimes it's how we get lost in them. Natasha, you pointed this out best, how much we give and we pour out to others. And then we may be looking in the mirror and all of a sudden be like, I have no idea who this person is looking back at me because I have lost my identity. I have lost my power. I have lost what made me special because I've given so much to everybody else. And for me, I would say just for me in my own personal journey, that is something that happened. I looked in the mirror. I'm like, who are you? Even down to my eyes. And so as you continue to reevaluate, sometimes it's also to look at the woman in the mirror and say, you know what? I need to also reevaluate you and figure out where you went. Are you still here? What part of you is still hanging on?
Yep. Love it, Glow.
One thing, like, oh God. So
come on, put the words together, Natasha. Come on, give it to us. It's okay.
Whew. I've done so good. But you know, you have some people in your life, one of those ships, and it becomes a disappointment, right? I got lost. Glow. I got lost. I got so lost. Listen, when I tell y'all my confidence been all the way up to the roof since birth, I'm not kidding. And it's not me, like, I promise you, I've been this way my whole life, confident-wise. But I had given so much, not realizing that I was taken from me. I wasn't taken from an outside source. 36 Xanax and a wake up. 36 Xanax and a wake up. I don't know what happened in those 3 days I was gone. But when I got up, I knew that I had to get out. The one person that I was supposed to, or I should have been able to trust in my whole life, they didn't believe me. They wasn't there for me. Nothing. How I was able to take my power back was to forgive and understand that that's just the way that person is. They're not going to change. They ain't changed in all this time. They're not going to change. And to see where I am today, the things that I'm accomplishing today, with or without certain people in my life, when I tell y'all, I can confidently say I'm good and mean it. People look at it like, she crying, like, is this? It's not tears of sadness. I'm so excited about where God is taking me because I done been through too much with all these other relationships, all these other people that was supposed that we think because this is family, they supposed to be there. God has given me you and you and you, and now he's giving me you. I didn't see you before. Miss Pam. I didn't see you, Miss Brittany. I didn't see y'all, but God is giving me all of y'all, and I'm talking about every time I think I'm losing, or man, I really wish I could call that person. Then I get somebody that I don't even know to call me and lift me up. So it's not about those old ships that me, because I'm that person. I'm finna go put a Band-Aid on that ship. I know that Band-Aid gonna get wet, but I'm gonna put another one on there, and then I'm gonna put some glue on there. No.
Try to put a Band-Aid on a gunshot.
Oh yeah.
You hear me?
What you doing? That ain't gonna work, boo. It's
I
not gonna
fixed
work.
me on. I'm rebuilding me
Big
from
stitches.
the inside out, and I feel amazing, y'all. I do. I feel amazing.
The hardest journey that you can have is growing up. And I think Glow, nope, Miss Tylette talked on it, is being told that you're not going to amount to anything. That, you know, you're ugly. You know, you have the big forehead. This is growing up. This is actually, and Shanitha knows it, this is actually from my mom. So the one person that you're supposed to trust and know has you never really had me. And it's not until I'm 50, death of a husband, to realize that none of that was true. And I'm still fighting it. I'm still fighting it because we're only into Tuesday, and I have those moments where, which one of the gentlemen told me that there's no such thing as failure. You should not have a fear of failure. So I had to go back and watch that podcast again to recondition myself. But when you're conditioned to hear that from 5 years old until the day she died on your 50th birthday, it's still taking me some time to realize, no, I'm not a model, but I'm not the bottom of somebody's shoe. I didn't know I was supposed to be writing a book, but here I am. Didn't know I was supposed to be doing a podcast. Here I am. Didn't know the things that I'm doing, which overwhelmed me in a good way, I'm supposed to be doing. So I agree with you. We're here for a reason. I don't know what the reason is. I'm just buckled in like a ride at the King's Dominion, and I'm going with it. I used to fight it, but you know what? I'm going to make the best me I have right now and keep going.
As long as we go with the floor, all the doors going to open.
Come on.
We got to go.
I love it. I love it, y'all. I do want to give a shout out to the viewers in the audience, y'all. They have been talking. We just have filled the screen, so I had to stop sharing the comments, you guys. But just a shout out to everybody who is commenting, who has great things to say. Thank you for joining us, Sharon, you know, Mark, Anita Jameson, China Doll, and I think China Doll must be related to the Glow family because she's like, Jordan, you're an amazing cousin, you and Glow, and I'm glad to have you back 100%. The growth all of you ladies have experienced and what you have overcome is amazing. People are loving, you know, this conversation, and somebody said, testify Tuesday. I'm like, dang.
Oh, they finna give us a show.
And so what I do want to do is I want to hear some lines from the book that's going to inspire us, because I do have a question. Does anybody have a line in the book? Because people want to buy these books, y'all. We need that inspiration in our lives.
Okay, well, I have mine handy, if I may. So we're talking about purpose now, and I actually have a chapter in my book called The Power of Purpose and Passion. And so the first quote says, purpose is how you use your experiences, talents, and gifts to better the lives of those around you, starting with yourself. But what does purpose bring? And so purpose brings good fruit into our lives. The first is order. Purpose brings hope, because hope is the belief that more is coming, with the confidence that what is coming is better than what is and what was. And then purpose brings strength. So the setbacks and obstacles that you will inevitably face or have already faced as you move through this world makes you stronger when you are chasing purpose. And so I always have in my book, right after each chapter, like my story. So you all are hearing my voice, some for the first time, and some may think it is an awesome voice. But let's be clear that having a voice like this as a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, a teenager, a young girl, I hated it. It did not, I didn't need anybody to not like it. I didn't like it. It was, the recordings, everything about it. It was, I would get responses on the phone like, yes, sir, and no problem, sir, and thank you, sir, right? So like, it was it. You combo that with me being 5'11" at 10 and 11 years old. So I'm taller than everybody, taller than grown people, like just all the comments, the big bird. So, Pam, some of us can get, tortured with comments, hey, bird, or how's the air up there, and all those kinds of things, right? But now, let's be clear. But now, when I understand what my gifts and my purpose are, you can't keep me quiet. So, but I'm gonna be quiet on this show for a little while, but you can't keep me quiet. And as a little girl, when the report cards from the teachers, and this is another space that I like to tell you, be careful what you're saying to people, because they will, believe it. But I was told that, I talk too much, right? I'm smart, but I talk too much. And I'm thinking to myself, now these checks that people are cutting me to do what? To talk. To
Come on.
all right. So, and that was a young girl that purpose and passion probably had already been there like the whole time, So sometimes I tell people in my presentations, look back over your life, because there was something long before these wrong people or our storms came into play that you could do all day, any day, without any problem, and what have you. And then in some ways, once you defined it and organize it, get some order to it, then you will, as I say, ignite your passion, discover your purpose, so you can step into your power. And so purpose and passion for what it is, it does ignite you getting into your power. And sometimes we get boggled down on trying to be like other people. That's when anxiety and medication and depression and things like that all set in, because I've heard it several times already on this show tonight. Expectations. And that is something you really need to just have a clear research and understanding of. Because if I expect you to do something, but yet you don't even know I'm expecting that, then when you don't, then it's a whole problem.
What is
right?
this?
And let's be clear. That is for your mama, your man, your woman, your kids, your co-workers, your boss. If I expect you to do something, but you don't even know what it is, then when you don't do it, I'm upset. Everything's going, to hell. And then the relationship, the ship is in trouble. So really, ladies and gentlemen, paying attention to the words that are coming out of my mouth, expectations. And then one of my last things I want to say is life is not about waiting for these storms to pass, ladies. It's about learning to dance in the rain.
Yes,
Amen.
that's
Mic drop.
Now clock that.
okay.
Any other book line?
It's
have
funny.
I
Oh, sorry, go
have
ahead.
one. This got to be one of my. I got many, but this is one that stands out to me for so many different reasons. To live is to suffer. To survive is to find some meaning in that suffering. What that means for me is I was headed in the blackest hole I can ever head in, and religion, my faith, helped me through that. And I heard a preacher say, Satan don't attack his own. So he started early. He started when I was 5. He started with me. And he started early because he know what God got for you. He can't take what God got from me. He can't take that from me. So he do these blocks in between. And he started with me when I was 5. And so what that meant for me is, yes, I've been through a lot. Yes, people told me I wouldn't be nothing. Yes, they told me all these things, but that don't define me. Keep going, because I already know what's back there, but I don't know what's up there. And that's what God got for me. And that is the best. That's my favorite quote in Dr. Peabody.
You better talk about it, girl.
Yes.
Okay, I want to say something. So this is my book, Tears of a Lost Soul. And I'm going to read what I wrote on page 64. And this chapter is entitled A Path for Me. So this is from Genesis 12, 1-3. And it says, now the Lord said unto Abram, go out from your country, your relatives, and your father's household to a land I will show you. Then I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you, and I will make your name great, so that you will exemplify divine blessings. And so, since I Stepped out on faith, came to Houston, Texas, lived in a homeless shelter for 121 days. I was the fame, all that stuff that was never going to make it. And I sit here amongst y'all today with my book in my hand, sitting on a platform with other women who are believing God for their miracle. I never imagined being in a space like this, y'all. And this is huge for me. So I honor all of you, from a woman, 22 years, y'all, walking the streets, homeless, on crack cocaine. So if I tell y'all, I understand what everybody is saying today. I'm in my right mind. I'm clothed in my right mind, from nervous breakdowns, mental breakdowns, losing your children, losing your life, losing your soul. So I'm a testimony. So this is my book, Tears of a Lost Soul. And this is about how I made it, how my abandonment, how I abandoned my children, how I was abandoned, and all the things. So grab my book either on She Publishing. You can grab it on any other platform, and you can definitely grab it on tearsofalostsoul.com. And this is where in this book, you will find strength. You will see how my children made it out. One of my children didn't make it. One of my twin boys, he murdered his brother. So one of my boys did not make it, but you will see how it affected my grandchildren and how it affected my children and how it affected me and how I kept pushing through the storm. Thank you, Bertina.
Yes. We think these storms, I say this a lot too, we think these storms come to destroy us. But I promise you, they come to help you find a hidden passion, a purpose, and your power. And you didn't even know it. That's what I'm hearing on here too. What you didn't know, you had. But the storms, they don't come to destroy us. Some of us do lose. But for those who are on the side today, you have to realize that they keep coming until you learn. And then when you learn, guess what happens? Those storms just a little light rain. They don't even bother you no more. That's what happens. You now know how. Right, yeah. You're like,
Mike. How many mics you got over there?
I keep mics.
Keep dropping the mic. They gave her none. She dropped the mic.
They like the arrows on the back of, and just pull them out of this thing. They don't ever stop. Because my blessing was a name too, right? So I tell people, and I'm gonna tell this audience, yes, my last name is Power, Power. Yes, it's on my birth certificate. No, I did not make it up. No, it is not a married name, and it is not a literary,
Pen name.
Yeah,
Stage
pen name.
name.
Yeah, it is none of those things. Okay. And I too, you could have those hard, tough relationships with your parents, with your siblings, with your children, right? I mean, it's what's going to happen in life. It's just what's going to happen in life. And, once you realize that those storms did not come, and that's what I'm hearing on this stage. So those that are listening, I hope if you were brought here to hear this message, that you are hearing it, that your storm was not brought to destroy you. It was here to help you understand because it was hidden. That's also what I heard. It was hidden potential and power that you really have. And so I'm excited to have been on this one session. Well, see, I know what I know. And what I know is where I'm supposed to be is where I'm supposed to be. So I was supposed to be on this call. So that's that, period. This one I was supposed to be. So.
I agree, because I wasn't initially supposed to be on the call, but I was invited, and I feel very strongly that I was invited to this call for a purpose, because while I am still working on my book, one of the synopsis of the fiction book is that as a young Black girl ends up ending her life. But that's just that's the prologue of the book, because as we go through the book, she starts realizing how much of a relationships that she had before she took this toll, and how these relationships are impacting now that she has done this alternate sacrifice. And we'll see how the book goes from there. But I, as someone who struggles with mental health, someone who struggles with depression, who's had my own suicidal ideations, in recent years, had to step back and realize that what I wanted may not be what my purpose is. And what my purpose is, it may not be something I can see, or that I can readily touch, because um, it is not a lesson for me to learn. I was there to provide, but it was not a lesson for me to learn. I was meant to learn this other lesson. But because I was so focused on getting this or getting that, I missed the lesson. So this book will dive into what your true purpose is, and how we need to eliminate what our ideals are, and actually live into our true purpose. And one of the books in the line, this sticks with me, is I wasn't meant to be here. I was a mistake that will soon be forgotten. And at the end of the book, or towards the end of the book, that line is rewritten, that you were never a mistake of being here. The purpose of you being here was the actual purpose. And I'm going to edit it a little bit, but it that's what that book is meant to speak to me. So hopefully I'll have this done in the next year, and then I will be speaking with She Publishing about possibly helping me out here. But again, I'm happy to be here, and I'm so grateful for y'all to have me be a part of this. Thank you.
Man, it's a whole family over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it is.
The She family is serious business. And I love what you said, though, because what you got to know is an apple tree will never benefit from the fruit that it grows.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
It's good.
It will
let me write that down.
Yeah, it will never benefit from the fruit. It does nothing.
Love
it
that.
is for the passerbyers, right? That's another thing that I had come to, me personally, I had come to learn, that what I possess and what I do to others, which I don't know, I just realized I must keep doing it because of what it does for the effect, right? Like how it changes people. I no longer just say I'm a motivational speaker. I'm an MIT speaker, motivational, inspirational, but I really thrive on it being transformational, that you will take something and it changes you, right? To me, I heard the word failure, but I mean, I just need more time with you, because if nothing is transforming in the words that I'm saying, then we need a little bit more time, right? So it's not a failure. We just need a little bit more time, because by the time I'm done, something gonna transform, right? Like that's just what happens.
Something gonna shake.
Yeah, once you understand what that, like to the point of what we're saying here, once you understand your purpose, once it's connected with really probably a passion that you always had, and now they all are aligned. Now it's like the Wonder Twins. Boom, right? You got this extra power that is happening.
Man, and I'm loving this comment right here. It's like, you can't harm me with a storm, baby. When I am the storm, baby.
Thank you, Mama.
I am the storm, right? Like, what are you talking about? I am the storm. Yes.
I don't.
Mine's is
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go.
Sorry, real quick. Mine's is a children's book, Good Night, My Blessing, if you can see it, with She Publishing. And my line is, "You are the push in my heart to make each day new." And the reason I chose that line is because in my lost phases, my children, my eyes were open to the fact that every single day I grind, I hustle, I push, not only for myself, but also for them, to teach them, to show them, to be an example, to give them a sense of what strength looks like, what getting through looks like, what healing looks like. And so in my book, Good Night, My Blessing, first one I ever wrote, I really wanted them to have a line to understand that every single day, treat it new, take that push, run with it, and see where it takes you.
I love this so much. Like, y'all, I love y'all. I love y'all. I don't have a line from my book, but the Candyland series is, God is doing some things, I'm telling y'all. So with the Candyland series, I started, I have to run all the words together. I started a snail mail subscription club, right? One of the subscriptions, and it's the Candyland snail mail. If y'all picking up what I'm putting down, you picking up what I'm putting down. The Candyland is the first tier to it is a $3.99 monthly subscription, and what you get for that is a love letter from me, what I call a love letter. Candyland is going to touch so many people because every time you open the mailbox, it's a bill, right? How about you open up a piece of mail from Candyland, and we just gonna be the sweet in somebody's day?
I know that's right. Sign
Come
me up.
on now. Oh, now where you sign up at for that? Because I need me a love letter.
$3.99
Yeah.
a month.
Let me take that sugar with no calories from Candyland,
No.
please and thank you.
It's gonna be amazing. I'm putting a lot of work into it. It's a $3.99 the first tier, and the second tier is $12.99 a month. You get items in this curated package. You're gonna get the letter, of course, but you get a curated package from me, from the heart, and all the things in it. You can use it to create memories in your journal. For those ladies who have them, girl, get up. I'm just gonna say that, girl, get up. Hello, somebody. You could put these things in your journal, your planner, all the things, and when you look at it, it's going to it's going to give you a wow moment every time, every month. I'll send you links.
So we got Aloja, you got your line, and Pam, you next.
Well, I don't have a line. I have a when I met Shanitha, I was in the process of writing my third book, and it's a Warrior Queen book. And unfortunately, I don't have any with me because in February I called myself going into all these tours and didn't order no more. But what I will say is, in my research, in my 8 years of research, I found Black women who we really are. I've found that we were always warriors, that we're always the healers, that we're always the teachers. We were leading armies in wars. Some of us was fighting to the point with one eye. Like I have a warrior queen who defeated Alexander the Great. So this is who we are. This is who we always been. And my book is Who Is She by She Publishing. You can find it on her website. But I just want to say that's who we always are. This is how we always gathered. Like literally, even through the Haitian Revolution, it was women that set that off. African women that set that off. And they fought off Alexander the Great and a whole bunch of other people. So that's basically what I want to say. That's the book. If I was to recommend any women to get that book, coming at the end of Women History Month, is to get that Who Is She book. Because when I say we were always the all in all, the be all, that's exactly who we are. And we always, this is how, when things I heard all Black women have lost their jobs and all this other stuff that's going on right now, this is what we do, what we doing right now. And I want to thank Lashondra and Shanitha for this, because you're doing something that you're being spiritually led to do. This is in your DNA. This is who you are. So I made myself stay up, because Shanitha know I have to be at work at 5 o'clock in the morning. I come home and take a nap. I made myself stay up for this last one. I said, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there.
I feel you,
I just want y'all.
I'm an Amazon and I own
are.
that now. I'm an Amazon and I own that name. So I feel you on that, because Amazon warriors. Yeah.
And not just from like the movie. They were warriors for 800 years.
Oh no.
You only saw like that last little part, where they, started doing some other things, which wasn't true. That was all Hollywood, because none of them would have survived them. They, off with their head, them women was no joke. So that was it. I want to thank Shanitha and Lashondra again, because I mean, this is like divine. I'm telling y'all, I'm real sleepy right now, but that's why I'm quiet. Shanitha know, but Tina know too. I could talk all night. But I had a little Tyler nap.
I feel you. Listen, like we saying, once you know that you're supposed to be where you're supposed to be, then you can see it, right? And so part of the conversation we were talking about tonight is what is pushing and pulling you out of the way and stuff. And some of it is a set of blinders that these other people wind up putting on you, and then it keeps you from seeing opportunities, relationships, networking, and connections,
Mhm.
collaboration, right? Like it keeps you from seeing those things. And so what I'm hearing is a lot of these women on this panel have taken those blinders off. They are gone. They are running wild. They are catching up. They are doing things. And,
That's
you know,
right.
more power to you.
I'm trying to run wild.
More power to you, right? Because I do want to say this on here because Glow is here. I have her book, and we are planning to collaborate for a project that I'm doing with this voice that, you know, is right. So with the voice, and then giving power to my Black children's authors, because my story started with my youngest son, being told he would only live 3 to 6 months, who turned 15 on March 15th of this year. It's his golden birthday. But he, you know, he's requires 24-hour care. He would be under what is considered a severe disability as a quadriplegic cerebral palsy. But the one of the senses that God gave him helped me with crystal clear bail understand what my purpose and power was, and that is the sound and the vibration of my voice. So hearing is one of the senses that he has had since birth. And then that let me know that he needed to hear, and that my voice was distinctive enough so that he couldn't understand who this person was. And so I started reading books and recording them just to play them so he could hear my voice. And then that has led me down this space. And so that's what I'm saying about stepping into your power and understanding your differences and the gifts you have been given, and where they will lead you. And so I plan to then lend them this opportunity out to individuals like Glow and other authors with She and wherever, specifically Black authors for children's books. I'm just gonna put that down right now so you can pick that up. But that is the goal for me personally, and that and lending, you know, my voice to those stories, and with the prayer and hope that it sells more books for them and draws more attention to them. Because like I said, I'm the apple tree. So, you know, let me just go and do what I'm supposed to do and let everybody else eat.
All right, Pam. And we are going to be closing this out. But Pam, do you have a line from your book?
Well,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yes.
Come on with it.
You got to pull it on out. Pull it on out.
It's on the back of this.
Mm-hmm.
This cover was done by one of the men in the book. So, you know, I gotta let him have that. But it's Dear Black Men, our struggles don't define us. Hard times are often refining us to learn strategies for success. We must respond to hard times with care, compassion, and learn from the challenges we face. Life often gives us lessons before we see results.
That's right.
I'm gonna need that, Mama Cita. I'm gonna start saying that on my stage. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Ladies, I got a couple of takeaways for everybody. Again, I want to tell everybody I'm so grateful to have you all here with me, and I'm so grateful to be in this space with y'all. I'm just really grateful. I can't tell y'all how grateful I am. But our first takeaway is some people care about you deeply, but still don't have the capacity to support your growth. Love and alignment are not the same thing. Another takeaway is growth doesn't require bitterness. It just requires movement. Movement. Keep it moving, sisters. Keep it moving. The last one is every time you shrink, silence yourself, or settle, you lose time you can't get back. So we don't have time to shrink and we don't have time to settle. I love you, ladies. I want to turn it over to Shanita and let her close us out for the night.
All right. Well, I do want to say that thank you. Thank you, Lashonda, for curating this whole situation this month. I've had an amazing time with all of you ladies. We do have some requests that if you are able to put the link of your books, your websites in the chat, please do that. Several of you have your own platforms and everything. Go ahead, and if you're unable to, yep, thank you, Glow. If you aren't able to do that right now, do it later.
Okay,
Yeah,
I can't do mine.
Is it BertinaPower.com?
They'll forever be able to get to me by BertinaPower.com. And you can Google that, my name, since I'm the only one with it. I own like the first 3 pages of Google. I'm just saying.
Now, is it anybody else that want me to put their website in the chat?
Currently, all I have is TikTok.
Uh-oh, I'm ready for it. Jordan.
Oh, I just have my TikTok, which is Jordanes 2034.
2024?
2034, 2034.
Okay, and that's a TikTok, y'all. I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Just know that it's a TikTok, y'all. I'm just putting the name up in there.
My everything is on Amazon. All my she books and other books are all on Amazon. So it's right now it's a one-stop shopping until I can get a personal assistant to do all my other stuff.
That's what I'm waiting on too.
Pam, you need to call
I need one
me.
that work for free though.
Pam.
Me
Call
too.
me, Pam. Call me, Pam. Call me, Pam.
I need one that work for free.
Call
She said,
me.
"What you got like this for free?"
I said free 99.
See how we don't hear? See how we don't hear when resources are being dropped in our lap? Call
her.
Yes, and you may, and if when you call it, you might even hear about the big sticky note she has, but that's a whole nother show. So, so thank you guys for joining us tonight. And again, thank you to Lashonder, and thank you to all of you all for making the time to come on here and share with the people in our literary community. And that is all we have. So thank you guys.
Good night, y'all. I love y'all.
Have a
God
blessed
bless
night.
everybody.
God bless.